the video has stopped. So there are four types of tissues. One is known as epithelial tissue, clear? Then connective tissue, muscular tissue, and then nervous tissue. These are the four major types of tissues. Now let's see where are the origin, and we also see their function. Fine. We will also see their function. Clear? Understand? So they are the four major types of tissues. 1, 2, 3, 4. This origin, epithelial tissue, derives from origin where it originates. It derives from ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. It derives from all the three germ layers. Which one? Epithelial tissue. Clear? We will see what is epithelial tissue later. Now, after that, we will see what are their functions, major functions of epithelial tissue. Right? Absorption. What is it? Absorption, secretion, opposite functions. Don't get worried. There are different types of tissues perform different functions. Excretion, absorption, secretion, exchange of gases also, etc. They are the major functions. Now the second major type of tissue is known as connective tissue. This origin is from mesoderm, where it derives from during its birth. All these cells, they originate from, they take birth from, originate from. The origin is from which tissue? From which layer? Mesoderm layer. The functions, major functions of connective tissue, fine, to bind the other tissues together, and also helps in forming different organs and organ system. Then supply of nutrients, exchange of gases, etc. is a major function of connective tissue. Then muscular tissue. What tissue? Muscular. This also arises from mesoderm. Which layer? From mesoderm. Muscular tissue also originates from, rises from mesoderm. The function of muscular tissue is contraction, relaxation, etc. Contraction, relaxation, sometimes little bit of expansion also, muscular tissue in stomach, intestine, in case of uterus, vagina, relaxation, and expansion also. Clear? So that's the major functions of muscular tissue. When we talk, there are different types of connective tissue, different types of muscular tissue, different types of nervous tissue. We talk about that. In the nervous tissue, this nervous tissue origins from ectoderm. Clear? And its functions are controlling. What are the major functions? Controlling, coordinating, fine, clear? Communicating, controlling, coordinating, communicating, fine, are the major functions of what tissue? Nervous tissue. Apart from this, now we will see epithelial tissue. What we will see today? Epithelial tissue. Clear? Epithelial, first type of tissue will take up. Fine. Then you all know epithelial. Epi refers to what? Epi refers to what? Epi refers to upper. Epidermis. You might have seen. Fine. Clear? Epidermis. Fine. Epi refers to upper or outer. Upper or outer tissue. The first major type of tissue is what is known as epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue. Clear? Epithelial tissue. Epi refers to upper or outer surface. Right? So this, as the name suggests, this tissue is found present on the upper surfaces, and also the outer surface in internal organs. Fine. The outer surface in the mouth, upper palate. Here the outer surface is also again what? Epithelial tissue. Don't get confused with the word upper and outer. This is upper. So here in the cavity, outer, mouth, buccal cavity, outer region. Outer also covered by epithelial tissue. Upper parts of the body is also covered by epithelial tissue. What are the characteristics of this epithelial tissue? Here the cells are clear, compactly arranged. How they are? Compactly. What do you mean by compactly? Tightly. How? Tightly. Firmly, tightly, without intercellular spaces. Without intercellular spaces. Intercellular spaces. What do you mean by that? There are no gaps. There are no space. There is no space. There are no gaps. There is no place where between the two adjacent cells. I have told you the meaning of inter. Intra, inside, inter, in between, extra, outside. I have told you this terminology, and I have told you that many biology lecturers will be using this terminology. So intercellular means what? In between the cells. Without, what is there? There is a lack of space. Means what? They are firmly, tightly, compactly arranged, one after the other. Without any intercellular gaps. There is no gap between two cells. I hope it's clear. Fine. So such they are the characteristics. Fine. And they are found present on a basement membrane. All these cells are arranged on where? Basement membrane. These cells are arranged on a basement membrane. There is a layer, there is a membrane on which cells are arranged. So they are where they are arranged. All cells are arranged in a basement membrane. Then they have thick cytoplasm. What they have? Thick. What do you mean by thick? Fine. More. It means thick here means more. Dense. Fine. More. Thick cytoplasm. Thick cytoplasm cells should have what? Cytoplasm. So they have thick cytoplasm, dense cytoplasm, more cytoplasm. The complete cell is filled with cytoplasm. In that cytoplasm, right, there is a prominent nucleus. What is it? Prominent nucleus. What is that? Prominent nucleus is there. Nucleus. Why we are saying prominent? Because you can see it very easily. Dominant, prominent, highlighted. Fine, clear. Large nucleus. In most of the tissues, the nucleus is found present in the center of the cell. Whereas in few, it is towards the lower surface. We will talk about that when we talk about the different types of tissues. General characteristics of a tissue or epithelial tissue. Generally, basically, this epithelial tissue is avascular. Fine. What if now? These are the general points of the tissue and epithelial tissue. Basically, epithelial tissue is always avascular. I have told you many times. A refers to absence. Vascular here refers to, in animals when we say vascular, it always refers to supply of blood, blood circulation or supply of blood, flow of blood. I have told you, this word refers in plants in different way. Like for example, phloem, fine, xylem, they are known as vascular bundles. They also conduct, what they conduct? Phloem conducts food, whereas xylem conducts water. They are found together like this. That's why they are known as vascular bundles. So their vascular also conduction in plants, food and water. Here in animals, I have told in animal kingdom also. Right? Vascular cavity, vascular, gastrovascular cavity, vascular system, water canal system, water vascular system. Many times this terminology has come. Now it is prefixed with avascular. What do you mean by avascular? Absence. Right? What do you mean by that? Absent. Vascular system is absent. Means what? There is no blood supply. This tissue have no blood supply. Right? Like almost like a dead tissue. Upper layer, like a dead, protective, fine, protective, avascular. What is its function? I told you now what? Protective. What is function? Protective. Clear? These are the general points of epithelial tissue. Further, epithelial tissue is further divided into two types, divided into two types. Epithelial tissue is further divided into two types. One is known as simple epithelial tissue. The other is known as compound epithelial tissue. Set, right? Simple epithelial tissue, CET, fine. Compound epithelial tissue, clear, funny language. This is also set, this is also CET, what? Set, 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 fine. CET can't be, fine. Set, simple epithelial tissue, compound epithelial tissue. Why we call this as simple? Because here the cells are arranged in a single membrane. That's why they are as simple epithelium. Compound, many layers are there, multiple layers are there. So that's why we call it as compound. Now we talk about simple layer tissue. What tissue? Simple epithelial tissue. What tissue? Simple epithelial tissue. This simple epithelial tissue is a type of epithelial tissue. So hence all these characteristics are found present in all the tissues. Why we call it as simple? Because here the cells are arranged, fine, in a different shape. Either can be round or they can be hexagonal, fine, clear, or polygonal, but whatever, the cells should be of same structure. If this can be a tissue, this also can be a tissue, clear. We have told this definition. This is also tissue, this is also tissue, clear. This is tissue. Whereas one cell is rectangular, one cell is round, one cell is hexagonal. We don't call such combination of cell as a tissue because it don't holds good as far as the definition of tissue is concerned. That what do you mean by that? And in the previous class I have told you, group of cells having similar structure, function and origin. So here these cells are arranged like this. Cells are arranged on a basement membrane. What is this? This is a basement membrane. This is a basement membrane. Basement membrane. What are these cells? What are these cells? Clear. What is this? Nucleus. Oh, what is here? Cytoplasm. Cytoplasm. All these points are there. Clear. I hope it's clear. And how they are arranged? They are compactly arranged, tightly arranged, firmly arranged, compactly arranged, without any intercellular spaces. So here, this is the epithelial tissue. In simple epithelial tissue, we have different types of epithelial tissue. Fine. Simple epithelial tissue. Much detail cannot be done here. Fine. So one is squamous epithelial tissue. Squamous tissue. What tissue? Squamous epithelial tissue, or you can just say squamous tissue. It's a type of simple epithelial tissue. Simple epithelial tissue is a type of epithelial tissue. Clear? Epithelial tissue is the first major type of tissues. Okay. Squamous epithelial tissue. Clear? This tissue is also known as pavement tissue. What tissue? Pavement tissue. What do you mean by pavement? Footpath, where people go by walk, not road. Go by walk, clear? That's what is known as pavement, or what we say commonly footpath. Here, why this tissue is known as pavement tissue? Because you might have seen, clear, in footpaths, tiles are arranged. What are arranged? Tiles are arranged. How they are arranged? Here one, there one. Is it like that? No. How they are arranged? They are arranged so closely, fine, without gaps. So it looks like the cells in the squamous tissue are arranged in such a manner that it looks like a pavement, looks like a footpath. Hence it is also known as pavement tissue. Clear? Here the cells are arranged like this, compactly arranged without intercellular spaces on the basement membrane, thick cytoplasm, prominent nucleus. Clear? All these are the characteristics of epithelial tissue, squamous epithelial tissue. Squamous epithelial tissue is also known as pavement epithelial tissue because the arrangement of cells looks like the tiles on a floor or on footpath, hence known as pavement epithelial tissue. Clear? Fine. It is found present in this. It is found present in, clear, nephron. Where it is present in? Nephron. Clear? It is found present in nephron. Helps in absorption. It is found present in Bowman's capsule. Filtration. It helps in filtration. It is found present in PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. Helps in secretion. Helps in filtration. Squamous epithelial tissue. Characteristics are same. Cells. Fine. The second one is known as, clear. Second one. Fine. Columnar epithelial tissue. Columnar epithelial tissue. Here the cells are compactly arranged without intercellular spaces. They are arranged on a basement membrane. They have a thick nucleus. They have prominent They have thick cytoplasm, dense cytoplasm, prominent nucleus, but the shape of the cells are column-like. How like? Column-like, pillar-like. What like? Pillar-like. Hence, the cells are known as, the tissue is known as columnar epithelial tissue. What tissue? Columnar epithelial tissue. Clear? Understand? It is found present in stomach. It is found present, columnar is present in stomach and intestine and what? Intestine, ciliated also. Fine. It helps in absorption. Why they are known as columnar? Because the cells are arranged like this. How the cells are arranged? The cells are arranged like columns. Fine. One after the other, like columns. Pillar-like cells are arranged, having a dense cytoplasm, then prominent nucleus in the center. These are nothing but what cells? Columnar epithelial tissue. Columnar epithelial tissue. The cytoplasm. Clear? Fine. So this is the basement membrane. What membrane? Basement membrane. Fine. This columnar epithelial tissue is little modified. Clear? In other places of the body. Fine. Little modified. The third type is what is known as C type is known as ciliated epithelial tissue. What tissue? Ciliated epithelial tissue. Here also cells are compactly arranged. Fine. They are pillar-like, column-like, without intercellular spaces, having dense cytoplasm, prominent nucleus in the center, or little in a few in columnar. You can come across here, where in the posterior region, where the end is attached. The boss to the basement membrane. Fine. In columnar also, ciliated also. Then why it is known as ciliated? Because the free end of these cells have microvilli-like structure, cilia-like structure. What like structure? Cilia. Hence the name ciliated epithelial tissue. What tissue? Ciliated epithelial tissue. Fine. Where it is found present? Fine. Situation. Fine. Location. It is found present in the respiratory tract. And in the oviduct, or what we call usually fallopian tube. In a female reproductive system, you come across pair of fallopian tubes that arises almost from the ovary and that connects to the uterus. So such tubes are known as oviducts or fallopian tube. Here the ciliated epithelial tissue is found present in the oviduct or in the fallopian tube. There it helps in the smooth passage of ovum from ovary to uterus, and smooth passage of ovum from ovary. Fine. This fallopian tube has 4 parts. Clear? Infundibulum. Fine. Clear? Then fundus, isthmus. Clear? All these 4 parts are there. In second year we will talk about that when we talk about FRS, female reproductive system. Clear? There we will talk about this. In this tube, this type of tissue is present and helps in the smooth passage of ovum. In the respiratory tract also, pharynx leads to nasopharynx, leads to larynx, fine, larynx leads to lungs. In the respiratory tract, again this tissue is found present. Here the function is to trap the dust particles, the microorganisms, dust particles. It traps the dust particles and microorganisms, thereby it helps in defense mechanism. So it is present there. That's why it is known as ciliated epithelial tissue. Clear? After that, we have one more type is known as glandular tissue. What tissue? Glandular tissue. Glandular epithelial tissue. Here the cells. Fine. Before we go to glandular, we'll talk about cuboidal. Fine. We'll talk about that cuboidal epithelial tissue. Fine. Cuboidal. Here the tissues are cube-like. You know what is cube? In maths also you would have studied cube-like. Fine. Where there are 6 sides, 6 faces. Best example is ice cube. What is it? Ice cube. 6 faces. Clear? So 6 phases are there. Fine. 6 faces are there. Fine. Cube. So cuboidal epithelial tissue. Here the cells are closely, compactly arranged. Same points. On a basement membrane, they have thick, dense cytoplasm, prominent nucleus in the center. Fine. Clear? Cuboidal epithelial tissue is also present in the DCT, kidneys. Fine. And in the nephron, distal convoluted tubule helps helps in secretion, Why it is known as cuboidal? Because it is the shape of the cells are cube-like structure, Moving on to next type, that is glandular epithelial tissue. What tissue? Glandular epithelial tissue. As the name suggests, glandular means, you all very well know, glands are meant for secretion. This is also this type. The cells are similar to cuboidal tissue, but glandular tissue. Why? Because these tissues are always meant for secretion. You know, glands are meant for secretion. Clear? So here points are same. What? The cells are closely and compactly arranged without intercellular spaces. They are arranged in the basement membrane. Clear? Then they have a thick, dense cytoplasm having prominent nucleus in the center. Fine. The cells are cube-like in structure. Clear? And they are known as glandular tissue. There are many types of glandular tissue. Are here. We'll talk about that. Thereby we can complete epithelial tissue. Fine. Simple epithelial tissue, compound epithelial tissue. We'll talk about in the next class. Fine. So glandular, again we have different types. One is known as single-celled glandular tissue. Then the other type is known as multicellular glandular tissue. Clear? As the name suggests, single-celled glandular tissue means what? Only one cell is acting like a tissue. It's little away from the definition, right? Clear? Because tissue means group of cells, but here one cell acts like a tissue, acts like a gland, hence known as glandular tissue. Fine. Example, goblet cell. What cell? Goblet cell. Example, goblet cell. Clear? Goblet cell. It is found present in stomach and small intestine, and it secretes enzymes and a little bit of mucus. Goblet cell. It is a classical example of single cell epithelial tissue. Moving on to next type, what is known as multicellular glandular tissue. As the name suggests, multi refers to many. Here the many cells are there, hence known as multicellular glandular tissue. Clear? There are different types of tissues are there here. Clear? Which helps in secretion. Again, this multicellular is further divided into clear exocrine glands. What glands? Exocrine glands, and then endocrine glands or tissue. Clear? Exocrine glands. Clear? They are the glands with ducts, and always they secrete enzymes. Very shortly I am doing it here. Fine. These glands with ducts, whatever they secrete always is known as enzymes, and enzymes are chemical messengers. Enzymes are biocatalysts. Clear? Example of exocrine gland, salivary gland, gastric glands. Clear? Fine. Understand? Salivary glands in the mouth. Fine. Gastric glands in the stomach, intestinal glands that help in digestion. Fine. So they are the exocrine glands. The other part is known as endocrine gland. What gland? Endocrine. Exo outside with ducts, endo inside. They are ductless glands. What glands? Ductless glands. They don't have ducts. Whatever they secrete and they pour it into the blood inside the system. That's why it is endocrine, inside. Fine. And whatever they secrete, they always secrete the chemicals known as hormones. What are known as hormones? And hormones are always chemical messengers. Hormones bring a chemical message. Based on that, the body system, fine, organ system, body system works. Fine. This is what is known as endocrine system. Endocrine system is controlled by nervous system. So here, endocrine glands, these are the glands with ducts. Without ducts, they always secrete in the bloodstream, and they produce certain chemicals known as hormones. Clear? Hormones are nothing but chemical messengers. The very meaning of hormone is to stimulate, to get excited, stimulate. Clear? Understand? So here, example of this, fine, pituitary gland. It secretes many hormones, 9 hormones. In the last chapter you studied that. Fine. Pituitary gland, thymus gland, thyroid gland, fine. Clear? Adrenal gland, many glands are there. So these are the endocrine glands. The third type of glandular tissue, fine. I don't know whether it's there in your syllabus, maybe, but it is required for NEET also. The other is known as mixed gland. What gland? Heterocrine gland. What gland? Heterocrine. Heterocrine. Hetero refers to many or different. Heterocrine, also known as mixed gland. What gland? Mixed gland. One part of the gland, one part acts as exocrine, one part acts as endocrine. Classical example in our body is pancreas. What is it? Pancreas. Exocrine part secrete pancreatic amylase, pancreatic lipase, trypsin, chymotrypsin. All this comes in digestion chapter. One part of the pancreas acts as exocrine gland. Clear? It is known as pancreatic acini. Pancreatic acini. The other part of pancreas acts like endocrine. It is known as islets of Langerhans. What is known as islets of Langerhans? It secretes hormones. It secretes what? Hormones like glucagon. Alpha cell secretes glucagon. Beta cell secretes insulin. Gamma cell secretes somatostatins. Fine. These are all the hormones. Hence it is known as endocrine gland. So one gland acts like both exocrine and as well as endocrine. Such a gland is known as heterocrine. Hetero means many or different. This is also known as mixed gland or also known as compound gland. So pancreas is a classical example in our body. It acts as the exocrine gland. Secretes enzymes like pancreatic amylase, pancreatic lipase, trypsin, chymotrypsin. The difference between trypsin and chymotrypsin. Pancreatic amylase, this enzyme works on compound sugars like amylopectin. Pancreatic lipase, it digests compound lipids. Fine, in the intestine. Trypsin enzyme, it digests proteins. Chymotrypsin also digests proteins, but the basic difference here is chymotrypsin digests only those compounds which has tryptophan as amino acid. Fine. So in detail you will study in the digestion chapter. So one part of it acts as exocrine, the other part as endocrine. Endocrine part is known as islets of Langerhans. Exocrine part is known as pancreatic acini. So endocrine part is known as islets of Langerhans, which is made up of 5 types of cells. In first year medicine, when you study human physiology, there they say 5 types of cells. Here we say only 3 types of cells: alpha cells, beta cells, and gamma cells. Alpha cell secretes glucagon, beta cell secretes insulin, gamma cell secretes somatostatin. Somatostatin is also known as anti-growth hormone because it controls the regulation of the growth hormone. Clear? Then insulin, you all very well know, it lowers the blood sugar. If it is not secreted, blood sugar will increase. Fine. Hyposecretion, hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia, in detail we will talk. Fine. Clear. Glucagon also, insulin also, these two regulate the carbohydrate metabolism in the body. Fine. Clear. Hyperglycemic factor, hypoglycemic factor. Fine. I have told in the class also most probably. So glucagon and insulin in digestion chapter also it comes. So here we complete simple epithelial tissue. Keep studying. God bless you. Good luck. Take care.